Well, unfortunately, the Palestinian institutions that we do have exist now, a lot of it are 50, 60 years old. We have the whole entire generations of Palestinians. I would say more than 70% of the Palestinian people, they've never had an experience of elections. Israel did change its leadership. They had like 5 elections in 3 years or 3.5 years, but they are winning. They're building their strong state, and they are taking more land from us, unfortunately. I could tell you one thing: if the leadership of Israel is the same leadership of Israel since 1948 or 67, they will be in a much worse situation. So we need to be smarter than the Israelis. We need to really have elections to allow, young Palestinian leadership to really come into play and implement.
But there's lack of elections in Palestine.
Well, that's why I think the Palestinian people should push for elections. And I call on Abu Mazen right now to really, close his legacy on the Palestinian issue and chapter by really calling for fair and free elections in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, to really inject new blood and let the people choose their fate. I don't want my fate to be decided by someone who was elected 50 years ago. This is completely unacceptable, and the history will not forget this. This is not selling a piece of land. This is not just a business transaction. This is Palestine we're talking about. This is the 20 million Palestinians who live in the West Bank and Gaza and Israel and the Arab region and worldwide. These people, future and history is in their hands. So we need people who have full legitimacy, elected by the people, to determine the fate and the future of the Palestinians with regards to Israel, with regards to the region, as well as the international community. The world we live in right now is not the same world we lived in 25 years ago or 50 years ago. And I could assure you, 5 years from now, the world will be even different. Well, the Israeli-Palestinian issue question is one of the most complicated one in the history. And the way to resolve it was a two-state solution, which has been negotiated for the last 25, 30 years. Unfortunately, the chances of that was much, much better 20 years ago than it is right now. Since the number of settlers, prior to Oslo, went up from 16,000 people to almost 1.5 million, and this number on the rise. So I expect by the end of 2024 to be around 2 million. Well, I mean, Palestine is a rich country. Unfortunately, right now, the Palestinian people, because of occupation, are deprived from using or benefiting from these natural resources. Not only gas, but there's only petrol, oil. And I do hope that Palestinians will have the bigger benefits. And that's where we could really rely on countries like Turkey and the other Arab countries to really help us, Muslim countries, Arab countries, to really help leverage the natural resources that do exist in Gaza and others for the well-being and the benefits of the Palestinian people and their friends. Radical governments lead to radicalization at all times, or encouraging radicals to really voice their opinion. But I think the radicalism did exist in Israel in 1948 until now. I mean, it comes to the Palestinian people in different colors, shapes, and forms. But it did exist, and now we're seeing more of it. And we're seeing more of it because the media, social media. It doesn't mean that it did not exist before. Settlements and settlers continued. Nobody has been able to stop it. Even when they declared at some points for the international community, they're going to stop new settlements being built. However, they were, enriching and increasing the size of already existing settlements. So therefore, Israel did not stop one day, 1 minute of really bringing in Jewish people, Israelis, to the Palestinian territory.